Howdy, folks. I hope you all see my pinned message. I have a lot to talk about with this episode. Howdy, Blitz Girl. Oops. How do I do that? I don't even know what I did. Ah, that's better. Hitting buttons, and I don't even know what I'm causing. Oops. Just making sure I got all my settings down pat. Everything changes when you stream on Twitch and on YouTube. It's a pain going back and forth. That looks good. You can confirm, Blitz Girl. Thank you very much. It should be all the same. Sometimes OBS, when you open it up, it just decides to reset everything like it did yesterday to me. Don't know why. But luckily I don't have too many settings, so. What's up, Sam? I actually wrote my notes on the same list that I did in the first episode, and I have quite a bit more. So, some small, some big. I personally like this episode a lot better, like I said in my reaction. Not a lot better, but I definitely liked it better. I don't know why. But I probably am going to be saying that after every episode. More than likely. How'd you guys like it? Before I get to my list of items to discuss. It's exactly what I was just thinking, Bliss Girl. Exactly. I think that was what I was saying in the first season up until, what was it, episode... Dang, I don't even remember now. The one where Viserys walks up the throne with the cane. You guys know which one. Everyone's favorite. Yeah, 8. He can keep his tongue. That one was just... Everything about that episode was perfect to me. Season 1 was definitely trickier because it had a lot of the time jumps, so you got different actors, all that jazz. Though I did hear that this season, I think it's episode... Oh, which one did I see? I think it was episode 3 or 4. I think it's 4, but I could be wrong. I don't want to get myself like too excited that it's next week's, but I forget who said it, but somebody said that one of the reviewers that got to see him early said it was incredible. So shit really goes crazy. So I'm excited for that. Agreed, Sam. Also agree, Blitz. It's always tricky with the time jumps, especially when you do that many of them. Not that they did a lot, but they kind of did. They did a few small ones and then a big one. But I think they nailed it. Also, have any of you guys read the Sir Duncan the Tall books? Because I just saw some promo pics that they just started filming that, and I am so excited for that. Those are some of my favorites. The Hedge Knight books. Duncan Egg, yep. What are they calling the series again? Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, I think. The kid they got to play Egg. People are going to love that kid, I have a feeling. He's a cute kid. I saw a video of him shaving his head for the role. Yes, Blitz. Without obviously, I'm not going to give anything away about that series, but obviously, that story takes place a lot closer to Game of Thrones story than obviously this show. The Duncan Egg books very short because those are short stories. There's only 3 of them. Short for George R. R. Martin, I should say. They're still decent-sized books, like novellas. Blackfire Rebellion. I think the only ones that are not guaranteed, but I think obviously the Duncan Egg show that's coming out, and then I think we're getting what is it, the Nymeria story? I think that one was confirmed as well. As where like the Jon Snow show got canned for now. But maybe we get a Blackfire. I think anything's on the table with how popular all these shows get. Hot D is really helping all these other ones out, I think. Exactly, Blitz. What up, Ram? Ram? That was specifically, I think, I'm guessing you probably read the article too, but they shelved it for now because they didn't have a good story for it yet. Rightfully so. If you're going to jump into that territory of essentially a follow-up to Game of Thrones, so a direct sequel, more or less, you better have that story down pat. And better be good. Especially because that one's going to be totally original, as where these other ones are all based on something. Exactly, Blitz. Exactly. I wish more studios thought that way. But nope, they don't. Why, I don't know, because you can't say it's because of money, because if they were smart, they'd realize if it's a good story, it's going to make more money. So, I don't know. I think they're just idiots. Most of them. Yeah, as long as it's the original creators / creator, then I have no problem with them doing what they want because it's theirs. It's why I always feel reassured on these new HBO shows having George Martin involved on everything. I really need to get a better mount for my webcam. The one I have really sucks because I have it attached to my desk, and my desk has the slightest wobble. But there's nothing I could do about that wobble. Not wobble, it just has a little bit of shake. Enough to where if I do that, you guys can see my camera shake. And I have ADHD. I like to unsteady leg, so I just constantly moving it, and it shakes the camera a lot. I noticed that while editing my reaction to House of the Dragon today. I was like, damn, I gotta stop doing that. I don't even realize it. All right, y'all, what do we say we start talking about this episode? And for your sake, Blitz, I will try my best. Not my best. I'm going to start with the things that don't really relate to the book at all. What was y'all's favorite scene? Sorry for my little southern charm there. Because I think I have mine from this episode. Oh, I definitely have mine from this episode. Mine's a little specific, but also probably kind of obvious. I also said it in my reaction, I think. But I want to see if any of you have the same one as me. That's a good one, Sam. The acting, that's something I will say. The acting in this episode was mwah, perfect. From everyone, too. But specifically, Otto, Rhaenyra, and Aegon. I think those three actors really brought it. It's a good point, Blitz, that this was a perfect opportunity for them to do so. The story played out for them. But they pulled it off. I forget who I was saying it to, but it might have been my brother. But this episode specifically, for some reason, the thought just crossed my mind, and I was like, on rewatch, because I watched it a second time yesterday at night, and I was like, you know, it just goes to show you how important a casting director is. Because there's been so many shows that I've watched that, while I've liked them and they've been good, they haven't. There's been a couple actors, you know, here and there that you're like, not the best, and it sometimes takes away from the show. But specifically, this show so far, not a person that I can say that has been a bad actor. Chemistry's definitely part of it. That can hurt it. Sometimes you get actors that are good, but the chemistry's off, so then it makes them bad in a way. That's another thing. Kristen Cole, man. Phenomenal actor. Piece of shit in the show, but hell of an actor. I don't think anyone will ever top Joffrey. I think that's like legitimately impossible. I'm not saying in terms of evilness. I'm certain in terms of just being a hateful character. Because Ramsay, while being up there with Joffrey, there was just something about Joffrey. I don't know what it was. I think it was the acting. It's just his overall personality. But I also love Joffrey at the same time because I find him hilarious. Also, Sam, I agree that Rhaenyra and Daemon scene was, I like that a lot. Did I have that on my list? No. Oh, here's something we can also talk about that doesn't have anything to do with the book. What do you think the deal was with Mysaria? Do you think she intentionally didn't tell the guard that she was the one that was escorting her about seeing? Because they clearly showed that she was like, and then she kind of just stopped. I want to know your thoughts on that, because that's the one thing I haven't been able to like pinpoint yet. I'm thinking she like just stopped and just was like, fuck it, and left. Why, I don't know, but especially you figured she would have done Rhaenyra a kindness after she did her kindness, but I don't know. That's what I'm thinking too, Sam. I guess it was just me wishing she hadn't ignored it. I mean, she obviously ignored it, right? That's a good point, Blitz. Maybe she did tell the guard, and the guard like took off. Obviously, by the time everything went down, it was too late. But I don't see how though, because they weren't that far apart when she would have told him. But what I was thinking was maybe she did tell him, and the guard did go back, and then she was just like, "Oh shit, nobody's near me anymore. I'm gonna get the hell out of here, not get on the boat." That's what I'm saying, Blitz. I don't understand it. Obviously, she's going to have more of a part to play. And I got to be honest. I legitimately don't remember a lot of her parts in the book. So I honestly don't know. Nobody say anything if you remember, obviously. I pinned the message. But yeah, I don't know. Like, she legitimately went like, and then stopped and turned around and looked, and then made a face like, and then it just cut. So like I said, I don't know what ill will she would have towards Rhaenyra at that point. I think she was legitimately surprised that Rhaenyra let her go in the first place. Again, unless, like you said, somehow she finagled her way of going on that boat, because this way she can stay in Westeros now. I think that there's something to that. That's funny you say that, because I think I actually cut it out of my reaction. Did I? I might have. I don't remember now. But when that scene first started, I was like, what did I say? I said something along the lines of like, oh, I'm getting nervous now of like when the brother's going to show up. Yes, Sam. I'm just not a fan of the last season, but it had bits and pieces that was okay for me. Specifically, the second episode. I forget which one it was now. I thoroughly love that fight, though, between these brothers in this one. I think I made that quite apparent in my reaction. What's funny is up until this episode, I think I even messed the names up in my reaction, where I was like, up until this one, I didn't know any. I couldn't tell the difference. Not tell the difference, but I didn't remember which one was Eric, which one was Auric. But about halfway through this episode, they said it enough times where I was able to remember it. That was the only reason I messed it up in my reaction, was because they're so close. Not because I forgot which one was which. One thing I will say, Blitz, I think you'll be safe with this, about the brother fight. The brother fight was more true to the book than Blood and Cheese was. I'll say that. Not that Blood and Cheese was bad. They toned it down. I get it. But this was slightly different, but just about spot on. And I don't know if it was just because I watched it happen, but for some reason I think it hit me harder in this than it did in the book. It's just also how that book reads. It's more of like a history style book, so. I know, my brothers are texting me right now. I keep reading their texts if that's why you keep seeing me smile and laugh. It'd be terrible if I had to fight one of them to the death. All right, what else do I have on the old list? That's so funny. I said the same thing on my rewatch yesterday. I was like, what are the odds that they were able to find two twin brothers that were not only identical, but were also actors. And then on top of that, were good actors. Oh, I didn't even tell you guys my favorite scene yet. I totally forgot. I asked you and I never said mine. Nobody brought mine up. That's probably why. And then I kind of forgot. But mine was Damon leaving on Caraxes because that was just... I hadn't seen a dragon shot like that in any of the shows yet. The way it like followed him almost like a POV shot. And it was almost like a roller coaster where you went off the edge with him. That was so cool. Plus the music was just ridiculously good. This whole episode. Specifically, and I probably mentioned it in my reaction, but the music in terms of the opening, like that opening segment, and then when Damon leaves on Caraxes, and then what was the other one? Oh, when Kristen Cole was looking at the bloodied Jaehaerys bed. And then the outro music was really good too, like that Hightower theme. Thoroughly enjoyed that too. I wonder, I don't know if any of you guys know, is any of like the soundtrack, like, you know how sometimes they put some of the songs out? I doubt it, but I can see that happening, Blitz. That sounds familiar. Just that like early morning dusk feel. Pure chaos. I still listen to the season 1 soundtrack quite often. Though I haven't in a little bit, so I'm probably going to do that tonight now. Just because it's on my mind. That's usually what happens with me. Whatever I'm watching around the time, I'll listen to the soundtrack to death for a while, and then once I find another one that I like, then I move on to that one. And I might come back to this one. Oh, that's cool. You got a hard copy? Speaking of which, let me look up. Let's see, Apple Music, what do you have? I doubt there's anything from season 2 on here yet. Oops. No, there is not. Dang it. Ooh, the Fallout soundtrack's on here. I'm gonna have to go through that at some point. Rhaenyra's theme? No. Yeah, it's all season 1. Rhaenyra's, no, I'm sorry. Which one was it? It was, Reign of the Targaryens. That's probably my favorite from season 1. Protector of the Realm was really good. The Prince That Was Promised was... I listened to that one literally to death because that was the first one that came out. But I got a lot of them on there. Season 6 was very good. To answer your question, Sam, I think there's a lot of potential there. Wink, wink. You should look forward to them, Blitz. Keep your eye on those boys. Men. Though Adam seemed kind of young. Youngish. And how about we finally got Darren's first mention in the show? I thought that so many people thought they were going to write him out. or had written him out. Finally, Otto mentioned him at the end. All I'll say, Blitz, is that Alan probably top 3 character for me. Certainly top 5 in the original story. I think I'm very confident in saying that. Yeah. Ross, yeah. Especially with the way she went out. You know what it was with her too? She was like one of the we met her really early too, so she was essentially like a Stark family member, more or less, kind of. But not really, you know what I mean. Yeah, Sam, I wonder how many people also forgot that Rhaenyra has 2 other younger kids too. I think they're gonna have to start showing those 2 little guys a little more. Speaking of Ross Blitz, Aemon's brothel chick kind of reminded me of her in this one. All right. True that, Blitz. True that. Also, speaking of Aemond, how freaking skinny did that actor get? God damn. That was actually like kind of hard to look at. I hope he did that on purpose and he's just not that skinny in real life, because that's too skinny. My guess is he did it on purpose. Because I saw he was in the show The Last Kingdom and he wasn't nearly that skinny. But he also played a totally different style of character, so. I gotta finish watching that show. I never finished it. No, I didn't find it weird at all either. I'm actually happy they had him say it again, that he actually did feel bad for Luke. Back to my list, though, because I have a lot of points that I do want to get to. No, you're fine, Blitz. That was Sea Smoke, right? It's funny how many people thought that was Moondancer. I'm like, not Moondancer. And I know things in the future, but I won't say them. Like I said in my pinned post, no future spoilers, guys. But it's not a spoiler to say that that was Sea Smoke. You can tell by not only the size, but the color. Because Sea Smoke has that very silvery, whitish look. And he was a big boy. Moondancer is a lot smaller. Especially in the book. But then again, Bela's also a lot smaller in the book. Most of these characters are aged up a tiny bit. Just makes it easier for TV. I'm guessing. Yeah, think about, like, John in the books was way younger. Kit Harington looks like a full-grown man. Rob, too. Beat you to it, Sam. Maybe not, though. There's a lag on the chat, so when I say something, I don't see yours chats till a good 10 seconds probably after you send them, if not longer. Because I will say, I did have Moondancer written down, because the one thing I did want to say was, I mean, I kind of said it, but Moondancer was, if I'm not mistaken, was extremely small in the book. Like, almost not even rideable yet, but I might be thinking of another dragon, so if I am, don't answer that, Sam, because I know you read the book. You could just tell me if I'm right or wrong. Because I don't remember, I don't think Reyna has a dragon, right? No, she doesn't. So I think I am right. But, like I said, because they age Bela up, I think they're using that as a another story piece. I think. Reyna's gotten, like, no screen time this season. Compared to, I feel like she got more than Bela last season. But I guess that makes sense with Luke dying. We're naturally going to get more of Jason Bela. Again, those two sisters are they're another group that those two combined, I count them as one for right now. But the two of them in the book, easily some of my favorite characters. And yes, guys, I use a number 2 pencil to write still. I just like writing with pencils better than pen. Plus makes my handwriting a little bit better, because it's not good. Yeah, Sam, I think I know what you're talking about. I think. Because it's probably the same thought I'm having, too. By the way, Sam, are you in our Discord? If you're not, you should join in. We have a House with a Dragon tab. You can type in as many spoilers as you want, as long as you spoiler tag them. Plus, I kind of want to know what you're thinking on that now, because I forgot about that, but I think you're right. But I think they can pull it off. Right? It's the only safe place. I wish everywhere you can type something, it should be there. Yeah, Sam, the link will be in any of our videos. I posted there in all of them. I don't know why YouTube hasn't added, like, in the comments section, you should be able to add, like, a spoiler section. Or, like, a spoiler tag. I don't think you can, right? I've never seen it. That would be really handy. Not that I know there's a lot of people that still wouldn't use it, but, you know. That's probably why, Blitz, because I don't know. I think that would be a good idea for YouTube. But I feel like Discord's the only place that really has it. I think. That I know of, at least. Ooh, I can cross Sea Smoke out. We already talked about him. No worries, Blitz. I appreciate you joining for the amount of time you did. I also didn't even realize I've been on here for 50 minutes already. Because I'm looking at my list now. The only things I have left to talk about are going to be slightly book spoiler up until this point, of course. Yeah, thank you for joining, Blitz. See you then. All right, what do we got here? First thing I'm going to bring up now is Hugh. Again, without going into future spoilers, Hugh, from what I know of Hugh, they're taking him in a slightly different direction, but I have an idea of where I think they're going to take him. I think they clearly made it a point to show that his wife is pissed at him and his daughter might be dying. And I think he's not going to get the money from the king. And that's going to set him off. And that's all I'll say about that. I think. Hugh the Hammer. Pardon. You know what I'm saying, Sam? I think you could probably figure out what I mean by that. I just don't see much in his character right now that says lunatic. I don't know how else to say it without giving away spoilers, so I'll stop there. Also, Sam, I don't know if you can remind me, was Kristen the one who sent Eric in the book? Or Arik, I'm sorry. I honestly can't remember. I said it in my reaction, but I can't remember if Kristen Cole was the one who set, or if they just slightly changed that. He very well could have, but for some reason my initial thought was that he didn't. Because I even wrote here, did Kristen even send Arik? And I wrote that down immediately as he sent him. See, part of me thinks he didn't, but part of me also thinks he did. So you might be right. It's when Google's your best friend. I like how I put ER in Google, and that was the first thing that came up. Eric and Arik. It's crazy. Let's see. Yes, he did. You are correct, Sam. Sir Criston, the Lord of Commander of the Aegon's Kingguard, ordered Arik to infiltrate Dragonstone. Dang, this is making me want to go back and read the book again. Dang, was Otto the one that hung him? I think, yeah, I think you are. Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. That's crazy because it's how much of a difference there is in the show. I personally like this version better in the show. Gives him some type of like... But I think they have to do that because the way they've been building his character to be like all about the realm. Because he does seem pretty honest about that. That's funny. I'm on a wiki of Ice and Fire, and then I'm just looking at the mentions from all the Song of Ice and Fire books of when Eric and Arik were like mentioned in A Storm of Swords. I totally forgot about this. Lady Olenna, her personal guard, are twins named Eric and Arik, who are named evidently after the legendary Kingsguards. That's pretty cool. I forgot about that. You think we saw Ulf? Oh, are you thinking it's the dude during the rat catching, the guy that asked what was going on? Who, by the way, I missed it during my reaction because I was talking about something, but right before they showed, when they showed that guy walking up, he literally just he went into that dude's thing and just took a piece of food right out of his bucket or basket. I thought that was hilarious. Like, what a dick. So you might be right. It probably is Ulf. Because why else would they give that dude screen time like that? You know, it did seem kind of random. I wonder what IMDb has him under, that guy. Let's look it up. These are the kind of minor spoilers I don't care. I don't mind for, or mind, so... If you guys don't want me saying it, I won't, but I don't think you'll care. Rhaenyra the Cruel. Wow, this episode is ranked lower than the first episode? Wrong. In my opinion. Sam, your winner. Winner, chicken dinner for your theory, Sam. At least according to IMDb. I think that's the same dude. Yeah, that's him. What else has this dude been in? Anything? Nothing I've seen. Decent amount of stuff, though. Probably a lot of British shows, I'm assuming. No, they don't, but that seems like it would be a weird error for them to get wrong. Plus, it makes the most sense. That's got to be him. Why else would they highlight that dude so much if he isn't going to come back into play? And I wonder if they're doing one of those things where, like, he sees these guys getting hung and he's like, fuck this. I don't want to stay here and work for these royals. I'm getting out of here. Wink, wink, if you know what I mean. And he seems like a shithead, obviously, so... It's all there. Still no Nettles? Yeah, it's early. I don't think we're going to get any of that stuff until maybe the end of this season. Actually, no, not maybe, but definitely at the end of this season, I think. Because from what I hear, we're getting a pretty big battle. Like I said, and I don't know if you heard me say it at the beginning, but I think it's episode 3 or 4. We're getting a really big battle. I kind of already know which one it is. I think you probably know which one it is too. I didn't think it was going to happen this early, but the more I think about it, the more it makes sense. Especially because they keep showing a certain somebody that I won't mention because for reasons. Specifically in this episode, they showed them very relaxed and comfortable. Wink, wink. Not that I have to worry. There's only 3 of us in here anyway, so. I think that's all I got. I really would be shocked if they cut Nettles out. I would very, very, very much so indeed be shocked. I don't think they're going to do that. There's just too much story there. And from everything we've seen, they've been sticking. They haven't cut big things out yet. If they're already going to put Ulf and Hugh in, I mean, I know that those guys have big roles, but still. So does she. Plus, I'd have to go back and re-watch the trailer. I can't remember if Nettles was in it or not. What up, Karam Pierre? Got a cool name. Rolls off the tongue nice. Combining her with Bela, huh? Thanks for hopping in, man. Appreciate it. Have you read the book, Karen? I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, by the way. I'm terrible with names. Kieran, I don't know. Kieran actually sounds like a name in House of the Dragon. I don't know why. Combining her with Bela? No. Sam, I think we talked about this in the last stream. There's no way. I can't say why. Because of something specific with Nettles' character, but... Damn, this one bug keeps fucking flying around me. We did talk about our favorite scenes. Obviously, that was probably my favorite. The brothers fight. That one hit me pretty hard. But just in terms of a cool scene, my favorite was probably Daemon pulling out of the cave with old Caraxes. That scene was awesome. Just the way they went over the cliff like that with the camera. That shit was cool. Damn, man, your timing is like... Right before you hopped in, we were talking Dragon Seeds. Yes, I do think we will. But we're trying to keep the future spoilers to a minimum, if you could. I think we're going to get the big battle. If you read the book, you know which one it is. I think we're going to get that in, like, episode 3 or 4. From everything I'm hearing and reading. And then I think Dragon Seeds is towards the end of the season. I think. My man. Same here. Oh yeah, we saw sea smoke. That was for show sea smoke. I wish they actually showed Moondancer before they showed that sea smoke scene so people realized that that definitely was not Moondancer. And I know in the book Moondancer is much smaller, but Moondancer is going to be a little bit bigger in the show, I think, but not that big. Do you think Jace's character takes a bit more control? Wink, wink. Trying to think specifically what you mean. I wish you can type spoilers in here, you know? Can you do that? I doubt it, right? This little gnat's gonna be murdered as soon as he comes too close to me. Nah, you can't. Man, this is why Discord's the best. I think I know what you mean, Sam, but there's only 6 of us. Yeah, before you joined in, there was 3 of us. I just said the same thing. But to your point about Jace, though, Sam, I will say the thing is going to happen this season, right? But I guess it can't, right? No, that's going to have to be next season. Aegon and Viserys are too young. They're like legitimately toddlers, so that can't really happen yet. Because I'm trying to remember specifically when the Jace thing goes down. That's after whatchamacallit, the battle. Well, the Jace thing's the Battle of the Gullet, right? I think is what they called it. Oh yeah, definitely after the Dragon Seeds. My guess is that Jace stuff will be next season. That'd be ballsy if they went. They went for it this season. Exactly, and if my theory's right, I think that'll be next season. I mean, at the end of this season. So that may make me think the Jace thing's going to be next season. Yeah, honestly, I was a little like, I wish we got more of Jace in the book than we did. All right, guys, there's 3 of us in here. I'm going to type this once, and we're going to have a free-for-all on talking spoilers. Hold on. I think that's pretty clear for anyone that jumps in mid-chat. All right. Now, Sam, tell us what you mean by take more control, because that's bothering me. I want to know what you mean. I think there's going to be somewhere in between in terms of time. Because the fact that Aegon and Viserys are so young still. Because that shit goes down when they flee, right? In the book, when they flee, that's during the Battle of the Gullet, no? Or like close to the same time? Dragon seeds, yeah. That could very well be. That'll be his big thing, you know? Yeah, the Aegon and Viserys being so young still that's confusing me a lot. So they might give Jace a little more story, I think. But I don't see this show changing anything too drastically, to be honest. Not with George as so involved as he is. And the main writer, Ryan Condal, seems pretty devout to him, so I hope. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I was right. It was that was the whole same time. Yeah, I knew they weren't going to have Rhaenyra be. I think they're using the Rhaenyra as they kind of made mention of it in the show, like when I think Rhaenys said it to Daemon, how like she's doing, like she has to stay here, like maybe it wasn't Rhaenys, I forget who said it, but something along the lines of like she has to remain at Dragonstone for whatever reason. I forget what it was, but they said something, I think. But I don't think they're just going to write her like, because in the book she kind of is just gone, you know, like more or less. You pop into her bedchambers like once or twice, and that's about it. So I think their version of her being out for the count is her just basically staying at Dragonstone. Yes, I agree, Sam. I feel like that'd be quite boring for a show. You were correct, sir. She is about to die. I was kind of trying to hint at that before when I was saying how they're purposely like showing her like nice and comfortable. And especially in this episode when she said it, she was like, well, I have Meleys. Well, hopefully Daemon does this thing with whatchamacallit, and then she's just too comfortable, you know? I don't even think she's overconfident. I think she's badass on her dragon. But the problem is, no, I totally disagree on that, man. She just gets she gets put in a shit spot. If you're talking about Rhaenys, think about who she's got to go up against by herself. Yeah, because if she ran, then they're fucked. That was the whole point in the book. I don't think she was overconfident in herself. I think she was just... Exactly. She wasn't getting away. Right. She gets jumped. She like there's nothing she can do except go out fighting. Hey, I'd go out that way if I was trapped in a corner like that too. That's going to be cool to see, though. I tell you that right now. Especially the ending of that battle. Scorched body. More or less, she does. Pretty much. Ultimately, she does, though. You're right. For, like, literally the rest of the story. Until, like, the last 2%, right? Am I wrong? And Aemon does rule, but he, like, barely rules, you know? He just does whatever, like you said, it does whatever he wants. Not that Aegon doesn't either, but he kind of listens to people. My biggest hope for this show is the fact that, yeah, he never puts the crown on as king. I really hope, I've said it in the last stream too, but now that we're speaking spoilers, the biggest thing for me is I hope this show doesn't just wrap up with, oh, this is Aegon III, he's the king now, show's over. We better see all that shit afterwards, because that's Viserys coming back. That's some of my favorite shit in the book. I would love to see that play out. Post-war, essentially. Which is crazy, because you would think the war stuff would be good. Yes, the Hour of the Wolf. And then you also get more Alan shit in there, too. Yeah, and then with the Regency, you get, like, what's his name? Lannister, who's a shit now, but ends up becoming a likable character. And you get frickin' Corlys's incredible exit, which is awesome. That, honestly, I remember, like, legitimately smiling when I was reading the book the first time when he came back. I did not see that coming. Right? Of course he did. I also just love how Alan doesn't take any shit from anyone. He does whatever he wants. Oh, now we're speaking spoilers, Sam. What you were talking about before. Let me guess, with your thing with Alan in the show, were you talking about the fact that he looks way too old? Because he's around for a long time. And that dude looks at least 30. Oh, I wouldn't say Krigon was pointless. Not at all. Some of the shit, he wasn't around for very long, but he kind of was for a decent amount of the ending of that book. Alan Oakenfist is one of my favorite characters, guys. I love a character that just does what he wants. But, like I just said before, oh, his age, yeah. Oh, you worked on, okay, I gotcha. Yeah. But with Alan, man, his age. Wasn't Alan younger than Adam, or am I making that up? Well, it ain't supposed to be Laenor's kids. It's supposed to be Corlys's kids. That's why I think they're older, because I think they're trying to make it seem like, all right, this is Corlys's kids, but he didn't cheat on Rhaenys, so he had him when he was younger, you know? It's going to be one of those things, I think. They're for sure his kids, and they're making it seem like that in the show, I think. That's why they keep saying he owes us. They try to make it seem like he owes us and because of we saved him, but I think they mean because we're his bastards. Oh, I got you. Yeah, yeah. The actor that plays Adam looks fairly young. I gotta look it up. Am I wrong? Wasn't Adam supposed to be older? I thought Alan was supposed to be more like Aegon and Viserys' age. Adam's the one with the dreads. Who ends up going out fighting on Sea Smoke to save Rhaenyra, more or less. Alan was born 114 AC. Adam was born... Or, I'm sorry, Adam was born 114 AC. Yeah, Adam's a year older. Yeah, they're only a year apart. I wonder if they gave Alan hair, if he would look younger. Because that could happen. Some people just look older and younger with hair or no hair. But yeah, that's going to be interesting. Because think about it. Think about how long Alan's around for during the hour of the wolf. That's so funny. I didn't even recognize that that was the same dude from that show because I watched the first season of that show. He's so much skinnier in that show. Yeah, Alan's definitely Oakenfist. Yeah, man, Alan does a lot of cool ass shit. That's what I'm telling you. He's one of my favorite characters. Tell you what, though, that actor that plays Alan, he's got a badass voice. That's how much mass that dude put on. He looks a lot different. I did not recognize him. Oh, and it's also now we're speaking spoilers, Sam. My point to Hugh earlier, like I was saying, I think Hugh is going to be. They're making it a point to show his wife doesn't like him. His daughter's dying. I think she's going to die. He ain't going to get the money, which is going to make the wife probably leave him. And then Hugh is ultimately, that's going to cause him to become basically a fucking monster and then go to Rhaenyra's side. Yeah, plus they showed Adam looking at Sea Smoke already, so they kind of made it obvious. At least for those of us in the know. We'll end it with that, with my point on Hugh, because I think that's all I got left. Yeah, don't remind me, man. I hate that part. I was so pissed when I read that part of the book when he turned coded like that. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. I looked it up because I was like, Sam mentioned it, and I was like, dang, that is him. Bringing a lot of these characters in. That's why I've been confused about Hugh, because everything we've seen of that dude so far in the show, I don't get that vibe from him at all. So I think it's going to take his daughter dying, not getting the coin, and then his wife doing something happening with his wife that's going to make him turn into that kind of dude. Because he seems like a somewhat decent dude here. I can't wait to see Vermithor, though. See, I think whatever happens at the gullet, I think whatever happens, I'm sorry, whatever happens with his daughter, wife and daughter, I think that's going to happen like soon. Love her. But like Sam said, if they did switch it, that'd be the only way they can turn it into the Baela thing. But I don't think that's happening. At least I hope not. But maybe. But when I read the book, I took that 100% that it was Lover. Yeah, I read it totally different, man. It's the crazy thing about that freaking book, though. I don't think it was propaganda, though. I don't think I've seen Daemon, besides Rhaenyra, dote over anyone. You also got to remember, by the time this happens, Daemon's a different dude. Not a different dude, but he's like the shit that happens with him and Rhaenyra kind of changes his mindset a tad. I wouldn't call you crazy if that did happen. Let's put it that way. I could see it happening, I should say. But I also don't think that would be fair for... No, he ain't gonna die for her. Because in the book, Nettles just, he lets her go. And then he goes to fight, what's his name? But I get what you mean, though. Because he was, that's right, I forgot. Eventually, Aemon was looking for him. But yeah, like I said, he doesn't really die over her. He chose to go after Aemon. But you also got to remember, he's got two twin daughters. They're not... I feel like that's unfair to the other one. To Rhaena. And plus, what, are we never going to see Baela again? Those are like two of my favorite characters post in the Hour of the Dragon. Or in the Hour of the Wolf. I'm not on board, man. When the two sisters show up... His third daughter? Who's his third daughter? I didn't think he had a third daughter, does he? Are you thinking bastard? Type. With somebody else. And we just haven't seen her yet, you mean? I wouldn't hate that as much then. I just want to make sure that Baela and Rhaena get to do their thing. When they stroll into into King's Landing to back their brother up, it's one of my favorite moments. Because they don't give a shit who's talking to them. All right, my dudes, I gotta go. I'm fucking tired. It's late over here on the east. I gotta be up kind of early. I'm all out of ideas to chat about, too. But maybe in the future, this is what we'll do going forward. We'll do like a first half, no spoilers, and then maybe towards the end, I'll do like a free-for-all where we could just do like a little bit. Go ahead, man. Fire your last one off. Oh, I hate when that happens. When you drink water And you get like an air bubble that gets stuck down your throat. Fuck, that hurts. No, I think she does it on her own. I think she's just like kind of cool. I am, the more you talk about it though, the more I am interested in how they go about explaining in the show the dragon seeds. I think it'll be mostly the same as the book, but I feel like some people might get confused. So I want to see how they do that. That's what I'm saying. There's holes to be had, but there's also not. Because on the surface it's pretty self-explanatory. There's a lot of Targaryen bastards out there, man. You know? No, Baela ain't dying, man. Her and Rhaena got to survive so they can come and save their brother in the end from marrying the wrong one. All right, folks. I'm out. I'll be up and on again next week, like always. We'll talk some Mo. Every episode, we're going to find new shit out, so there's always going to be a lot to talk about. Later, my dudes.